Hello and welcome to Classic Beauty Over 60. My name's Denise and I'm doing everything over 60. I'm just going to do a quick get ready with me today. Today I wanted to try out, I've tried out powder in the foundation, like actually mixing it in there, but I found a new technique I wanted to check out. It supposedly is better for your pores and makes it a little bit more kind of a velvety texture. And so of course, my face has got all its serums and all that good stuff on it. And right now, I'm just going to put a little moisturizing e.l.f. on my face and some triple bounce serum as well, because that is what I'm going to use that instead of primer, because that's what the girl used. So I'm using my e.l.f. translucent powder. I'm doing it completely different than she did. She used like a powder puff type thing to put it on. I'm using a brush. Next time I'll try it with the actual puff thing that she used. So I'm just going to use my True Match. This is a pretty good coverage foundation. And so, yeah, you just put the powder on while your face is still tacky. And then one side of my face, I'm going to use my Beauty Blender to put this foundation on. If you're new to my channel, I don't put liquid foundation into my laugh lines or my forehead, and I don't really put it on my nose. I use powders for that instead because I'm trying to avoid that cakey look and the makeup settling in the lines. So right here I am noticing so I couldn't tell when I used the brush, but let me tell you, when you use this brush, the fluffy brush, but when you use this makeup brush, you can definitely feel how soft and it is gliding on your face. I much prefer using this brush, and I think I'm actually really liking adding the powder. It just kind of fills in my pores a little bit, and it doesn't seem as chalky when I put it on my skin this way as opposed to mixing it up in the liquid itself, which is how I did it a couple of videos back. Yeah, it really feels good. Okay, so then I'm going to use my halo. I put my Beauty Blender in some water. I didn't just set it in there. I let it soak for a minute, and then I squeezed it out extra good with a napkin. You want to lift when you're our age, so I'm not going all the way in, and I'm staying really high up, right underneath that bone. I'm not going too far down, because as you age, you know, you're losing muscle mass and that kind of thing, bone mass even. And so you don't want that to look any more hollow than it is, unless you have a rounder face and you do actually want to contour that out. Isn't that the prettiest color red? That is, what is that, Merlot Kiss by Milani. I really like these creams. I feel like as you get older, the creams are much more forgiving on your skin. They want to melt in. It just looks so much more cohesive with your skin. It just kind of blends in so much better. And I love this. I love this bright color. It just wakes me up, which I need. I know it looks a little odd here, but trust the process. It'll all come together. So I am loving the Milani products. The e.l.f. the putties, the face the putties that they have for blush, they're so stiff. You really need to warm them up in your hands or something to get that wax to melt. I much prefer, I think, the Milani. I don't like tugging on my face at this age, and I'm very careful about that. That's why I have the pillow that I have. If you guys haven't seen that video, let me tell you, if you're sleeping on a regular pillow with a regular pillowcase, please buy yourself a, the Mulberry Silk, super inexpensive. It helps your hair. It doesn't crease your face. It's hypoallergenic, and it's just the way to go. And so, yeah, no more wrinkles for me, please. I'm trying to avoid those at all costs. So, yeah, pillow is pretty. It's expensive, my pillow, but it's worth it. I've had it for a long time. Yeah, check that video out. I've got to, what am I doing here? I am going to take out these. I have hollows instead of bags under my eyes. So if you get a concealer that is your skin color, not lighter, that's where people make a big mistake, is making it lighter. It really shows up and has a tendency to make your under eyes look kind of gray, muddy, I think, and I'm not the only one. Yeah, and so I just put that. This is the only foundation or liquid I will put actually in a crease. So I did put that in the hollow part, and then you take your brush and you simply drag from that down. I'm not dragging up because I already have a really thin layer of foundation that we put on in the beginning. I go on either side of my laugh lines and I do the same thing. I don't go in the line on that, and you're just gonna buff that out. And I'm gonna use my translucent, and I'm going to use this face powder as well. This has a little bit of a color to it. I'm just trying to even out the color on my skin since I haven't used foundation in some of the areas. I like this. So this eye lure, this is specifically for eyebrows, and it's got some sort of wax in it, and I'm just trying this out. It turns out that it's too dark, and I'll take it off later and you'll see that. I'm also going to use this, what is it? I think it's Maybelline. It's one of those eyebrow with the 3 like hair-like structures on it. This is just too dark. I don't know, maybe it was too dark because I had the underneath color under it, but it's way too dark. So I'm gonna also get rid of my gels. I'm using this color. It's kind of a very light, kind of a clay. It's actually called clay. And so I'm just getting rid of that little lump there, and I'm buffing that out with my face brush. I've done this a million different ways, and each way is just as good, to be honest. Just depends on my mood. I didn't feel like being so surprised. This is a cool palette, you guys. It's beautiful. It's Hip Dot. Such a pretty palette. The colors are amazing. So I also am lucky enough to have hooded eyes. Just going to go ahead and get rid of those. As you get a little older, your skin is super soft, and if you do the windshield wiper motion like the younger girls do, you'll skip the brush will skip over some parts and it won't have any makeup on it at all. So just pat that in, and then you can, I'm laughing, and then you can smooth it in. I'm laughing at how dark those eyebrows are. So that was irritating. I took all that time to put that on, and now I have to take it off. I think next time I am just going to try to use my powder alone and see what that looks like. And so I'm just highlighting my brow bone above. I use a darker color because if I used a lighter color, that would make it pop right back out again, and I'm trying to make that recede. So I don't want that. And I'm putting a lighter color from the inner corner to about the midway, and then I'm going to make my eye look a little larger by placing a lighter shimmer right above the eye itself, the eyeball itself. And then I'm using a darker shimmer at the tail end of my eye. And this is Luminoso. I'm going to pull this all together now with this powder, and that does a really good job. I'm using my lip stuff from, it is Paris Hilton, and I used Big Bang by Benefit mascara. I am overlining. I sharpened this pencil to a fine tip so that I can just make a tiny overline at the Cupid's bow of my lip and a little bit underneath at the very bottom. And then I taper that in. I don't go to the edges of my lips because it looks like a Joker lip. I looked too light to me So I'm going to use, what is this? This is NARS. And I'm just going to, and it's a powder, and I'm just going to go over that. It just didn't shine through. I don't know. Somehow it soaked in. Maybe it was that powder that I put on. Not sure, but it lightened up. And I'm going to use my No Filter by ColourPop. This is, I think it's a matte color. And because I used that powder blush, I wanted to kind of liven myself up. Well, that's it. I kind of pulled my hair back a little bit. I'm going to be doing more stuff with my hair because I'm bored with it. And that's it, guys. That's the look. Well, I hope you had fun. I sure did. See you next time.